逃げない。なぜ逃げなかった。時々カッと血が昇るんだ。逃げたら何か大きなものを失いそうで怖くなる。
叶うはずもねえような敵の大軍を前にしてもロジャーは逃げずに立ち止まる。
死にたがりなのかい。逃げることも戦いだ。
そうじゃが逃げない。背後に愛する者がおるからじゃ。共に逃げれば仲間たちも危険にさらすことになる。正確に言うならば逃げないんではない。目の前の敵たちが仲間を追わんように敵を逃がさない。その時のロジャーはまさに鬼。仲間の悪口を言われたと一国の軍隊を滅ぼしたこともある。
GOL D Ace. This is the name his parents chose to give him, the name of Roger's sword, the one who was recognized as one of, if not the greatest criminal of all time. What must be understood with his true last name Goldie is that it's the legacy his father, the Pirate King, left him. First of all, being associated directly or indirectly with this name is dangerous. Many innocent women have been killed to eradicate this lineage. Ace was able to survive thanks to his mother who kept him in for 20 months. But once he came to this world, he was an orphan with no guide. Having a difficult childhood, he asked himself multiple questions about his existence, whether it was a good thing or not that he was born, etc. He quickly discovered how hated Roger was, to the point that even the existence of a child of that guy would be an abomination, a thing that the whole world should not bear or look at. As a result, he hated his father for what he represented, so he chose to take his mother's name Portgas D to sail on the seas and turn the world upside down by making a name for himself, so that people recognize his true value. Bearing the name Goldie also gives a great potential to its descendant, in this case for Ace. As soon as he entered Grand Line, he was called the Super Rookie. In just 1 year, he went to Skypiea, Fishman Island, Wano Kuni, etc. Ace was far from being stupid. He was a smart guy who always knew his strengths and weaknesses. He took care of his crew, but above all informed himself in the environment in which he is evolving. In just 1 year, he was able to sail Grand Line and the New World, seas that scare many pirates. During his trip, he was able to master the 3 forms of Haki alone without training. He was able to find Shanks, who is said to be the hardest Yonko to find, to talk to him, having at the same time defeated the bandits on that island. Shanks later explained that as soon as Ace set foot on the island, it was no longer snowing because of his conqueror's flames. Following this, he went to Wano Kuni, a country known to be difficult to access, where he met Otama and Yamato. He fought Yamato but quickly became friends with her, and according to Yamato, Ace was the one who stood above all the rookies at that time. Omitting his name, Yamato told him who Roger really was, and Ace appreciated him to the point of wanting to meet him. He hated Roger because people spoke badly about him, but from Yamato's point of view, Ace admired Roger for what he was and for what he had accomplished. His speed, his strength, his abilities quickly was heard around the world. He was not only powerful for his devil fruit, but his physical abilities made him a great fighter to the point that he was proposed to join the warlords. Jinbei was one of those warlords. If I'm talking about Jinbei, it's because he is a key element in determining approximately how powerful Ace was before he died. Jinbei is 46 years old. He is known for being very strong. Now he is in Luffy's crew and has defeated Who's who was once considered to be as talented as Rob Lucci. Before that, he was able to knock Maria out in one blow, and he was able to resist Big Mom, who despite her hunger state remained powerful. When Jinbei faced Ace, he was 42 years old. Was he at his prime? Whitebeard reached his prime at 38. There are people like Garp, who was 48, and Kaido, who was 39, who continued to gain more strength despite their age. So given his status a warlord and his age, yes, he maybe was. After Wano, Ace went to an island to set a trap for Whitebeard, who was already fighting against pirates at that moment, to be able to defeat him. And that's where Jinbei cornered him. They clashed, but no one was able to win for 5 days, So it's really important to take into account that Ace just started being a pirate and therefore not having a very great experience in combat, or at least not more than Jinbei at that moment. He was able to break through Jinbei's defense without using armament haki. This is probably also related to his Conqueror's Flames that also allowed him to change the environment. After fighting for 5 days, he still had the strength to stand up against Whitebeard to protect his crew. He lost 100 times against him and then agreed to join his crew right after and was given the command of the second fleet. Therefore, before joining his crew, Ace had a greater strength than Jinbei. He was becoming much stronger to the point that he was able to hurt Whitebeard's hand, who ended up using his devil fruit to beat Ace. With his many clashes for territories, etc., he quickly got his way on top of the world of pirates, to the point that he was able to stop Aokiji's attack with ease in Marineford, something that once again shows his strength and legitimacy to have been one of Whitebeard's top fighters. Over time, he had mastered his devil fruit abilities better and better. He used his IQ and skills to develop powerful, efficient techniques and attacks. He also acquired great navigation skills to the point that he was able to move alone on the seas, such as Mihawk, for example. Ace's problem is that he fell far too quickly on opponents way stronger, Whitebeard and Blackbeard for example. In fact, he had his first defeat against Whitebeard. Blackbeard was already very strong before eating the Yami Yami no Mi. He showed many times that he had great physical abilities. He killed Statch, a commander who was part of the strongest crew in the world at that time. After he killed him, Ace tracked down and found Blackbeard around the world. Despite his endurance and incredible strength, he was beaten by Teach, to the point that even Jinbei wondered by what means Blackbeard could get there. Blackbeard was simply just stronger than Yonko commanders. He has always hidden his true strength. Eventually, his potential scared the Navy. That's why they were ready to go to war with Whitebeard, because Ace would certainly become as great of a threat as Roger was for the world government. Ace was a very proud and faithful person who wanted to live his life with no regrets, so he never ran away from any fight. He inherited this from Roger, something that even Shanks regretted at times about his captain. True to himself and loving his loved ones, he did everything to protect them and defend their honor. Akainu who had very well identified Ace's mentality, he knew that by provoking him through his adoptive father, Ace was going to fall for it and therefore attack him. When Ace attacked him, he was already near death. We see it through his viewer card and Garp's words at Impel Down. He did not die because he was weak, but Luffy was. Ace did not die chained or at the end of a fight. He died having protected his little brother. So he had the death he wanted, that is to say by being free and having lived his life without any regrets, while knowing that he was loved in the end. Now I will conclude this video on the fact that Ace's death was the trigger to give Luffy the desire to become stronger. His strong will, which had allowed him to defeat Blue Gem at the age of 10, continues even after his death. Oda removed Ace from his story because he was going to become a serious contender for the Pirate King title. He became more and more popular within the fan base, so with hard training and more experience, he would have gone farther than Luffy currently. Ace has become a legendary character because of his origins, on what he has accomplished, but especially because of the impact he has had in the world. His bounty is much higher than many characters in One Piece who continued being pirates even after the Marineford War, so Ace had quickly set the bar very high in just 3 years. He was far too nice to attack civilians or even kill them. His bounty was based on his fights against the Navy, pirates, world government, etc. So in short, it was mostly based on his powers. Alright, that's it for Ace's story. People don't really know how amazing his character is because they only focus in the manga or anime. But the author himself supervised and approved Boichi's story called the Ace novel, which you can find in many manga platforms online. The story is canon, so read it immediately if you haven't done so. Anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, subscribe to my channel and join the crew. Sayonara.